You gotta be 16 when you get another day won't burn to break down. Say, here, don't you call me, 'cause I ain't free. I owe my soul to PG&E.
So now let's all welcome Supervisor Ross Mirkirima.
So when everybody is chanting no on 16, that literally characterizes my nights when I wake up in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. yelling no on 16. I'm probably a bit of in a cold sweat at that particular time. But the passion goes to the point, and that is that none of us can rest in making sure that the state of California does everything they possibly can to reject Proposition 16 on June 8th. And we know all the reasons why, but it should not go, I think, unechoed. And that is that PG&E would be the first private corporation in the history of the state of California to be able to embed, enshrine itself in our state constitution by literally subordinating the municipal interests of every California city to the private corporation interest of PG&E, just so that they could secure their profit motive and their monopoly.
Here's a question. What do Meg Whitman and PG&E have in common? They're both spending tens of millions of dollars to buy an election. The difference is that Meg Whitman is spending tens of millions of dollars of her own money, and PG&E is spending tens of millions of dollars of our money. Every nickel of that originates with us, with our rates. Let me tell you, there is not one environmental group supporting Proposition 16. Every environmental group in the state is opposing Proposition 16. And the ad campaign that they're doing, that they're buying, is one of the most deceptive ad campaigns that we have ever seen. They're saying that this is a taxpayer issue. There are no taxes involved with Proposition 16. It has nothing to do whatsoever with taxes at all, anywhere. It's a total lie. They're talking about clean energy. Proposition 16 does the opposite. It stifles clean energy in San Francisco. What Proposition 16 is all about is competition, or the lack of it. This is a competition-killing measure for PG&E. It kills competition all over the state. This is why none of its competitors are supporting it. Southern Cal Edison is not supporting this measure. San Diego Light and Power is not supporting this measure because they know that this measure is not good for them, just as it's not good for San Francisco or Marin or Palo Alto or Sacramento. This is also why the newspapers around the state, including the San Francisco Chronicle, the LA Times, the Sacramento Bee, are coming out and recommending a no vote on Proposition 16, and that's what we, the Sierra Club, are also doing. No on 16.
In case you don't know yet, PG&E is installing its wireless so-called smart meters at every single home, business, school, medical clinic, etc., in the Bay Area and elsewhere. They're already in place throughout Berkeley, installations happening right now in Oakland, and San Francisco and Marin will be next. PG&E's official line has been that no customer can refuse getting one. Choice? What's about choice? The meters transmit pulses of microwave energy roughly every minute, 24/7, and even repeat the signals from neighboring meters in what they call a mesh network. And PG&E is also installing additional antennas outside on our light and power poles. This entire system is creating a looming public health disaster for our families and our communities. And unfortunately, the media has done a somewhat decent job of focusing on the issue of the billing problems, but they haven't mentioned these other problems at all, which are really much greater. So we're going to change that tonight.
Smart meters pose a huge health risk, both short-term and long-term. The smart meter is a wireless meter that sends strong microwave RF radiation into and out of your homes. Independent measurements show that it pulses every 1 to 2 minutes all day long. This is both for your electric and gas meters. PG&E states that a signal is sent every 6 hours, and other times they state it's only once an hour. Well, we know that PG&E tells the truth. This is not a voluntary program, but is mandatory with no opt-out program in place. More and more scientists, health professionals, and politicians are recognizing that microwave RF radiation may in fact not be as innocuous as once thought. I had a meeting with Mayor Newsom, and he wants a warning label on all cell phones and would not let his pregnant wife use a cell phone during her pregnancy. Children are especially susceptible. France has outlawed cell phones for children. Brain cancer is now the #1 cancer in children under the age of 14. According to Health Magazine, 35% of the population is now electromagnetically sensitive. In 1990, the EPA listed electromagnetic fields as a carcinogen until the telecom and the utility companies and the military basically bullied them out of it. So what are some of the immediate symptoms that a growing number of people are feeling? Without any notification, unbeknownst to me, PG&E installed a smart meter at my house, and over the course of 6 weeks, I became sicker and sicker. Chronic migraine, severe depression with suicidal ideation, I thought I was going through a midlife crisis, anxiety with heart palpitations, nausea and vomiting, constant thirst and parched lips, insomnia, tingling in my arms and hands, and pressure and tingling in my teeth. I basically felt like I was running electricity through my body. When I stood next to the meter itself, I could not stop crying or whimpering. I learned I had electrical poisoning. Through my recent work in mobilizing the public, I've learned and seen some of these same symptoms in other people. I have watched their minds become spacier and more scrambled as they are unable to spell and write logical paragraphs. My burly mechanic is complaining of constant, piercing headaches. I just met a woman whose symptoms have alarmingly worsened. She gets strong chest pains now. All of us are desperate and are fighting for our lives. I feel scared. I've lived in my house for 27 years, and I can't live in my house with a smart meter. And honestly, I'm not sure where I can go to be safe. Thank you.
You know, you can start getting the feeling in the Bay Area that we've got this thing beat, Prop 16, and 2/3 of the voters are down in Southern California. The blanket ad blitz that PG&E's put on is saturating Central Valley and down south. So we've got voter-to-voter phone banks and scripts available to make that kind of personal contact down into LA, Riverside, San Bernardino, San Diego County. So if you see these signs right here with the noprop16.org website, anyone who has any availability in the next 2 weeks as we count down to this day, you can sign up at that site. We'll send you an invitation with a script and voter list so we can make contact. We've got people making hundreds of calls already, but God, we need more. Because I want to wake up on June 9th having trashed this proposition so that we can tackle all these other problems that PG&E is creating for us. I really look forward to riding the backlash that PG&E has created with this thing. They've united a lot of us who are working very locally, united us statewide. And I think the very best retribution is going to be CCAs all over PG&E territory. So really looking forward to that.
It's terrific that everybody is here tonight. Let me see if I can summarize some of the main points. One is there's a lot of bad news out there. PG&E just doubled down last week and put in another $9.5 million. They are up to $44.1 million for Yes on 16, and that's bad news. PG&E is out of touch and out of control. They're out of control and out of touch not only on Prop 16, but the way they're treating jamming smart meters down the throats of its customers, whether they want them or not. The way that PG&E is absolutely ignoring the PUC in continuing to attack community choice projects in Marin in San Francisco, the way that PG&E is defying the CPUC when it comes to the Diablo Canyon license renewal. They're supposed to get a seismic study done before they went to the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, and they said, forget it. We're going to go and get relicensing before we get seismic studies. PG&E is out of control and out of touch. Now, here's the thing. There's also a lot of good news. And here's what's the good news. The good news is nearly every single newspaper in the state of California, over 35, have endorsed no on 16. That's good news. The good news is that as the previous speaker said, not only every environmental organization is no on 16, but over 50 municipalities are no on 16. The Democratic Party, they claim to be to have labor. We've got more labor, no on 16, than PG&E has. We have the California Federation of Labor, the State Building Trades Council. We have IBEW Local 595, no on 16. Okay? So we have more labor. SEIU, AFSCME, the California Teachers Federation, the California Nurses Association are all no on 16. But last week, and this is really important, the only supporters that PG&E has are supporters that are bought and paid for. Period. PG&E can't get anybody else that they can't buy. And so, but you know what? People are breaking rank. They have the State Chamber of Commerce, yes on 16, but guess what? No on 16 has been endorsed by chambers of commerce from Fremont, from Stockton, from Santa Clara, from Fresno, from San Diego, Riverside, San Fernando Valley, Orange County. All of these chambers of commerce are no on 16. They broke ranks with their state body. Okay? Let's look at who else they claim to have on their side. They claim to have on their side the Republican Party, the state Republican Party. Well, guess what? The Republican Party of Los Angeles County, the largest Republican party in the state of California, voted no on 16. The Napa County Republican Party, no on 16. And last week, the Republicans of South San Joaquin County flipped from yes on 16 to no on 16. Okay? So we are building support from, these are people breaking ranks. Let's talk about the Taxpayers Association. Okay? They got the California Taxpayers Association. Well, guess what? We are starting to get taxpayers, the San Diego Taxpayers Association just went no on 16. So that's even starting to happen. So this is good news. We cannot waste money on things like this $4 billion rate increase that PG&E is trying to get. This $4 billion is not for more renewable energy. This $4 billion is not to reduce carbon emissions. We actually need money to do those things. And if we spend the money wasting it on executive salaries, if we spend the money wasting it on all these little projects, things like Prop 16, other things that PG&E wants to spend it for, then we will not have the money to do the investments we need. So here's the thing. We need to fight for the most green for the least green. And the way we get the most green for the least green is by making it clear that we as consumers demand our money's worth. If we are going to pay more, it is because we are going to get more. We are not going to pay more and get less, and that's what PG&E is trying to do with us. Now, let's talk about what's happening tonight. Tonight, we have the hearing that starts at 7 o'clock, and it is really critical for each person here to sign up to speak at the hearing. The PUC has very, very few of these public hearings like this. And then there are a couple important points. The main theme is, do you feel like you are getting your money's worth? Okay? And that is what you really need to tie into everything that you say. So if you think that it is outrageous that they're asking for a record-breaking, biggest increase ever in the worst economy in ages, you have to say that. If you think that you are not getting your money's worth with the smart meters, you got to say that. If you think that PG&E should not have so much excess profits that they can spend tens of millions of dollars on political adventurism, then you ought to say it. If you think that there is anything else that PG&E is doing, any other practice that you oppose, that you don't think they should be wasting their money on, remember, this is money that's paid by you and I every single month of the year. And we have the right to demand that our money gets spent for our future, not for their past. Thank you.
We're gonna be 16, what do you get? Another day warmer and deeper in debt. Say, kid, don't you call me, 'cause I ain't free. I owe my soul to